and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Wednesday, January 22nd.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
We begin with immigration lawsuits. 22 states are taking President Trump to court over his move to end birthright citizenship. All of the states involved are represented by Democratic attorneys general. The lawsuit argues that Trump's executive order violates the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. That amendment states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Trump's order challenges the jurisdiction clause, claiming that children of non-citizens are not covered under it. The president has also issued a new order saying immigration officers will now be allowed to arrest migrants in schools, churches, and hospitals. This reverses previous federal policy which barred authorities from arresting people in sensitive areas. President Trump has also put all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion staff on paid leave, and eventually they will be laid off. It is part of an executive order signed on his first day in office to dismantle federal DEI programs. Trump has called those programs discrimination and says he wants to return to what he calls a colorblind and merit-based society. A memo from the White House says all DEI staffers must be out by 5 p.m. Friday. The president also pushed out another order that he says could lead to an investment of $500 billion into artificial intelligence. Trump made that announcement yesterday at the White House with tech leaders. The move would combine those tech giants into one new AI infrastructure company called Stargate. Trump claims the new company will create more than 100,000 jobs. Turning now to news a little closer to home for my team 8. The defense attorneys in the Delphi murders case have officially appealed Richard Allen's double murder conviction. Cody Fisher reports.
This 23-page filing by the defense says there were 4 main errors with the trial, some of which is tied to evidence, but it also covers potential violations to Richard Allen's constitutional rights. Right after his arrest, Richard Allen's wife paid an attorney $5,000 to represent him. The defense team filed this exhibit, a letter from that attorney to the Carroll County Sheriff saying Allen is his client. The defense claims Allen's constitutional rights were violated because that attorney was not involved in the hearing that sent him to the Westville Correctional Facility. By attacking the safekeeping order, the defense appears to be trying to get his confessions made at Westville thrown out of the trial altogether, claiming he was there illegally.
It's a good strategy to try to say, hey, let's knock out all the confessions, via the Westville thing. He never should have been in Westville. Let's get rid of all of that. So it makes sense that they're doing this.
The defense is also trying to discredit the state's timeline of the murders of Abby and Libby. They claim this video showing a blurry vehicle driving down a road is this white van, the infamous white van Allen later confessed to seeing around the time the girls were abducted. The defense claims the video shows the van arriving after the state says it arrived, but they do admit the time code is 12 hours off.
They're acknowledging this is off. Is there any way to determine that it's exactly 12 hours off? Or is this a situation where it could be 12 hours and 30 minutes, 12 hours and 20 minutes.
The defense also claims newly discovered confessions from the man who owned the property where the girls were murdered entitles Allen to a new trial. The confessions were allegedly made in 2017 to a fellow inmate by the man while he was serving time in prison just months after the murders.
I would expect that either there's going to be a hearing or prosecutor Nick McClelland is going to file some sort of response to this.
The defense also says testimony about Libby's phone is an error in the case because an investigator testified that he used Google to come up with his explanation that dirt and water caused Libby's phone to register something being plugged into it, hours after her death when Allen could not have been at the scene. That testimony was in direct contrast to the defense team's phone expert who testified that someone had to have plugged something in and that dirt and water would not have caused that to happen.
No trial is perfect. Every trial is going to be, have a number of errors. But what you have to look for is did that error violate Allen's rights and impact the outcome? Or is it just sort of a side issue that you can say, well, it didn't matter either way?
Now, this is not the main appeal in this case. This was made by Allen's original defense team. Now, once this motion is settled, Allen's appeal attorneys will still have time to file their main appeal. For IT8, I'm Cody Fisher for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Let's talk sports. The team is soaking up the sights of Paris ahead of their games this week. The Pacers shared a photo of Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, and Pascal Siakam in front of the Eiffel Tower on their social media. While they were having some fun and enjoying the experience, Pascal Siakam says they are staying focused because there's serious business to take care of.
I think it's good, but at the same time, we have a job to do. We have two games against a really good team. They have some good pieces. Obviously, they have Wemby playing in Paris, the home for him. So it's gonna be interesting. And I think obviously you want to enjoy it and have fun, but also we got to be able to have the job in mind and going out there and getting it done.
The Pacers are set to face the Spurs tomorrow and again on Sunday as part of the NBA Paris games. Now, when it comes to the weather conditions back here in Indy, prepare to stay bundled up. Storm Track 8 says, our time with brutal temperatures is winding down, but the cold weather is definitely sticking around. Meteorologist Tara Hastings has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
I think we're going to get into the 20s this afternoon. And hey, we've got some sunshine as well. At times today, we're going to see sunshine, maybe a few clouds rolling through. We're at 8 degrees right now in Indianapolis. It's starting below zero early this morning. South winds at 11 miles per hour. Feels like temp at 7 below. We are as cold in Richmond here as 3 and the wind chill value at 16 below. Eventually, we're going to see those temps, I do think, climb into the 20s, and then those wind chill values should go back up into the positive territory later this afternoon. Right now, we've got a few clouds here or there and also a few flurries off to the west of us. Later on tonight, we'll see the chance for some of that cloud cover to move in and also a few flurries heading into early tomorrow morning. Today, we'll see those temps climbing into the mid-20s later today with the winds out of the south here at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 22 here in Indianapolis later this afternoon, along with Bloomington, 20 in Lafayette and South Bend, and then into the mid-teens in eastern Indiana. We're going to see even warmer temperatures head this way for the weekend. We'll share that 7-day forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
To get a peek at Tara's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com. And don't forget, conditions will change throughout the day, so to make sure you have the most up-to-date forecast, just download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And for a more detailed look at conditions, you can check out the Storm Track 8 weather blogs. As we told you about on Wish TV, Hannah will be out for the next couple of weeks, so I am taking on Golden Apple. It's almost time to introduce you to this month's winner. And not only did our team surprise this amazing teacher with the honor, thanks to our partners at WGU, the winner also took home a $2,000 cash prize. So here are 3 clues. This teacher is no stranger to her district. She actually began as a young scholar. She enrolled in the district student teacher program. 2, this winner also has a personal connection to where she works. She actually met her now fiance in the very same district she teaches in. And our last clue, she is so beloved that in less than a year that she's been there, she has made a huge impact, racking up an impressive 14 nominations for the award. So I just had to sit down with the principal ahead of our surprise to ask her a few questions about what makes this winner so special.
Her voice. To be honest, you need a voice when you're teaching. You need to be able to command the students and have confidence in yourself, and I could see that right away when I met her.
That is just one of the many things I talked to her about ahead of the surprise. You can catch our full surprise tomorrow morning at 7:30 on Daybreak. And next week, you can catch my full conversation with our winner on the News 8 Golden Apple Podcast. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Wednesday, January 22nd. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.